Greetings, family. You see, Ibrahim Traore, we always keep him in the news. Why? Because he is doing marvelous work that no African country leader currently is doing what Ibrahim Traore is doing. Let's just watch this video. After that, we just break it down in our local dialogue.
The voice of African pride, progress, and sovereignty. Today, we bring you a story so incredible, so empowering, that it will make your heart leap with joy. Yes, you guessed right. Once again, we are raising our voices to celebrate a man of action, a man of dignity, a man who is fast becoming the face of Africa's agricultural revolution, President Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. Ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday, May 22, 2025, in the fertile city of Bobo-Dioulasso, something historic happened. The president of Faso, our dear Captain Traore, stood before the people and delivered a monumental gift to the rural world. A package worth more than 104 billion CFA francs in agro-pastoral equipment and inputs. Just listen to this lineup. 608 tractors, 1,102 motor cultivators, 485 motor pumps, 31,851 tons of phytosanitary products, 66,952,895 doses of veterinary medicine, 70,000 tons of mineral fertilizers, 935 floating fish cages, and so much more. Vlog family, this is not a donation. It is a revolution. This is not a gift. It is a statement. Captain Ibrahim Traore is telling the world that Burkina Faso will rise, that our farmers are no longer forgotten, that rural people matter, that Africa can feed itself. And in his own words, Captain Traore said, "I officially hand over the keys to all these machines to you and wish you a very good campaign. Let us pray to God for good rainfall and that you can achieve your objectives this year." Wow! What a leader! What humility! What vision! This gesture is part of the Presidential Initiative for Agricultural Production and Food Self-Sufficiency and the Agro-Pastoral and Fisheries Offensive 2023 to 2025. It's not just about growing crops. It's about growing a new Burkina Faso, rooted in sovereignty, self-reliance, and pride. So today, Intervlog salutes you, Captain Ibrahim Traore. You are not just changing the future of Burkina Faso.
No.
You are redefining the destiny of an entire continent. President Ibrahim Traore revives the rural and industrial sector in the Haute-Bassin. Visiting Bobo-Dioulasso from May 22nd to 23rd, 2025, the president of Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, has launched a series of major initiatives to support rural areas and boost industrialization in the Haut-Bassin. The program includes the delivery of agricultural and fishing equipment worth more than 104 billion CFA francs and the laying of the foundation stones for 2 industrial units in Pény and Samandeni. The head of state, Captain Ibrahim Traore, began a visit to the Haute-Bassin region on Wednesday, May 21, 2025, where he carried out important activities on May 22nd and 23rd aimed at strengthening agricultural resilience and promoting industrial development. During this visit, the president of Faso provided producers with agricultural and fisheries, inputs, and equipment for the 2025 to 2026 agricultural season. All of this equipment is estimated at over 104 billion CFA francs, a major investment in rural areas. This official visit will also be marked by the laying of the foundation stone for 2 strategic industrial infrastructures. In Pény, Captain Traore launched construction work on a cashew apple processing plant. With a total cost of 6.6 billion CFA francs, this unit have an annual processing capacity of 5,000 tons and will generate 112 direct jobs and 1,050 indirect jobs. In Samandeni, he kicked off the construction of a veterinary medicine production unit. Valued at 20 billion CFA francs, this infrastructure should produce at least 110 million doses of vaccines per year upon its launch, thus strengthening the health capacities of the livestock sector. Speech of Burkina Faso President Captain Ibrahim Traore on Agro-Pastoral Equipment Initiative. Brothers and sisters of Burkina Faso, people of Haut-Bassin, farmers, herders, fishermen, sons and daughters of the land. Today, we stand together as one people, one destiny, one hope. I have come to Bobo Dioulasso not only as your president, but as your brother, your comrade, and your servant. Together we have declared war on hunger, war on poverty, and war on dependency. This morning, with the grace of the Almighty, I officially handed over keys to a large and powerful batch of agro-pastoral equipment and essential inputs worth more than 104 billion CFA francs. Oui, mes chers compatriotes, 104 milliards de francs. CFA. Ce n'est pas un petit projet, c'est une grande révolution silencieuse. This is not mere aid. This is a transformational arsenal for our rural world. To the farmers and field agents, to the herders and fish farmers, to the sons and daughters who cultivate the land and breathe life from soil and water, I say, these machines and supplies are your weapons of production. Use them well, use them with honor, and use them with discipline. Let me be clear. This is not about charity. This is about sovereignty. This is about dignity. This is about taking back what belongs to us. As we say in our villages, quand tu prêtes ta houe à ton voisin pour labourer ton champ, il peut y aller à son rythme, mais il ne nourrira jamais ta famille. The campaign we are launching today is a cornerstone of our Agro-Pastoral and Fisheries Offensive 2023 to 2025. It is also an essential part of our presidential initiative for agricultural production and food self-sufficiency. Our goal is not just to produce more food, but to transform how we farm, how we raise livestock, and how we feed our people. We have provided 1,033 motorcycles for field agents so they can reach every farmer, no matter how remote, 485 motor pumps to harness water where rain fails us, 1,102 motor cultivators to break the earth and prepare it for abundance, 17 trucks to move, produce, to connect field, to market, and profit to pocket, 2 drilling workshops for boreholes that will water both crops and hope, 4 combine harvesters to reap what we sow with strength and speed, 935 floating cages to multiply our fish production in every water body, 36 vehicles to support our technicians in delivering service to our people, 608 tractors to turn fallow lands into fields of plenty, 150 crushers, and 10 processing units to ensure value addition and food preservation. And that's not all. We have added 31,851.5 tons of phytosanitary products to protect our crops, 66,952,895 doses of veterinary drugs to keep our animals healthy and productive, 15,000 tons of plant seeds to sow new life into our soils, 70,000 tons of mineral fertilizers, and 14,631 tons of organic manure to nourish our earth, 1,580 tons of fish feed, and 11,169 livestock feed to fatten our animals and grow our economy. Mes chers compatriotes, the land does not lie. La terre trahit jamais celui qui la respecte. If you respect the land, if you nourish it, if you give it your sweat and your discipline, it will feed you, your children, and your nation. This massive support is not accidental. It is the fruit of a conscious, courageous political choice. We are putting our money where our mouth is. We are investing in our people. We are investing in the future. We are investing in the most dignified of professions, feeding a nation. And let me tell you, this is just the beginning. With this equipment, our mechanization brigades stationed across the municipalities will operate with renewed vigor. They will offer free services to our most vulnerable farmers. They will serve others at reduced, subsidized prices. Because in this new Burkina Faso, no one will be left behind. We are also developing over 2,000 hectares of irrigated lands. Water is life, and in agriculture, it is wealth. We will no longer wait for the sky to decide our harvests. We will irrigate, we will cultivate, and we will dominate. L'homme qui a la houe dans la main n'a pas peur de la saison. The one who holds the hoe fears not the season. But now you have more than a hoe. You have tractors, you have fertilizers, you have training and support. What excuse remains? Comrades, you have shown your determination. Minister Ismail Sombier, our brother and comrade, has confirmed your commitment. I believe in you. The future of this nation does not lie in foreign donations, but in the calloused hands of its farmers.
Yes.
From our fields in Hauts Bassins to the valleys of Samandeni, from the fish ponds of Bagre to the grazing lands of Sahel, we are building a new Burkina Faso. A Burkina Faso where the young man can choose agriculture not out of lack, but out of pride. A Burkina Faso where our women, the true engines of rural labor, have access to tools, seeds, and respect. Let us continue to work together. Let us support each other. Let us believe in ourselves. The land is generous, and our people are resilient. With leadership, vision, and effort, we will not only feed ourselves, we will feed Africa.
Africa.
May God bless your efforts. May God bless our reigns. May God bless the land of upright people. Long live the agro-pastoral offensive. Long live the producers of Burkina Faso. Long live our dignity and sovereignty. Je vous remercie. Burkina Faso is witnessing an agricultural revolution under the visionary leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traore. Amidst global food insecurity and rising dependency on imports, Traore has emerged as a champion of food sovereignty, rural empowerment, and technological advancement in agriculture. Since assuming power, President Traore has made strategic investments in modern agricultural machinery, including the historic procurement of 400 tractors in 2024. These bold actions have not only revitalized Burkina Faso's agricultural sector, but also positioned the country as a model for sustainable development in Africa. It is a comprehensive tribute to the remarkable agricultural transformation spearheaded by President Traore. It calls on other African leaders to emulate this example of leadership, vision, and patriotism in their quest to eradicate hunger, empower farmers, and achieve true independence. The genesis of a visionary agenda. President Ibrahim Traore's commitment to agriculture stems from a deep understanding of Burkina Faso's socioeconomic realities. With over 80% of the population relying on farming, the agricultural sector holds the key to national development, food security, and peace. Traore recognized early that revitalizing this sector required mechanization, investment, and a break from systems that perpetuated dependency and inefficiency. His vision was clear: modernize agriculture, support farmers, harness local potential, and reduce reliance on food imports. In less than 2 years, this vision has yielded historic results. Strategic procurement of agricultural machinery. The cornerstone of Traore's agricultural revolution, the acquisition of modern farming equipment. In 2024 alone, the Burkina government procured 400 high-powered tractors. These were not symbolic purchases, but strategic investments directed at real productivity and rural empowerment. Tractors were distributed to key farming regions and cooperatives across the country. Their impact was immediate. Land that once relied on rudimentary tools was transformed into reported higher than morale. Were contributing to Burkina Faso's historic potato, rice, wheat, and tomato harvests. Beyond tractors, the government also invested in combine harvesters to support large-scale grain harvesting, plows, seeders, and threshers to ease the burden on manual labor, irrigation systems to improve year-round farming and mitigate drought, trucks for transporting produce to local and regional markets. These strategic tools enabled Burkinabe farmers to scale up production like never before. The 2024 agricultural boom. Thanks to the 400 tractors and complementary investments, 2024 was a banner year for Burkinabe agriculture. Potato harvests surged, particularly in regions such as Yatenga and Kadiogo, turning Burkina Faso into a net exporter. Wheat and rice cultivation expanded dramatically in Banzon and Solenzo, with Burkina Faso surpassing regional yields of 2 tons per hectare. Tomato farming reached industrial levels, fueling the local production of tomato paste under the SOBTO initiative. Fodder cultivation increased livestock productivity and reduced farmer-herder conflicts. The results were not just statistical. They were visible in the markets, in rural incomes, in national pride. For the first time in decades, Burkinabe families ate food grown and processed within their own borders, under the banner Made in Burkina Faso, empowering farmers and internally displaced persons, IDPs. Traore's agricultural policies went beyond machinery. They were deeply people-centered. His administration actively included internally displaced persons, IDPs, in agricultural programs, offering them land, equipment access, and technical support. This move turned victims of conflict into productive contributors to national food security. Farmers received training on machine usage, sustainable farming practices, and post-harvest storage. The Ministry of Agriculture, under the directive of Commander Ismail Sombi, created a support system that reached even the most remote regions. Agro-pastoral and fish offensive. To consolidate gains, President Traore launched the Agro-pastoral and Fish Offensive, an ambitious national strategy to achieve food self-sufficiency. It integrated livestock rearing and fodder production, agro-industrial processing zones, fish farming, including floating cage systems in Samandeni. This offensive positioned Burkina Faso not just as an agricultural producer, but as a value-adding agro-industrial hub, infrastructure to support growth. President Traore understood that tractors and seeds are not enough without infrastructure. His administration invested in rural roads to connect farms to markets, storage and processing centers to reduce post-harvest losses, energy solutions to power irrigation and preservation systems. All of this created an ecosystem where agriculture could thrive sustainably. A new development paradigm for Africa. President Ibrahim Traore has redefined what leadership looks like in Africa. Instead of borrowing models from the West or depending on international aid, he has built an indigenous, pragmatic, and patriotic development model based on the land, the people, and the will to rise. This model deserves to be replicated across Africa. Every African country has farmers. Every country has arable land. What has been missing is the political will, the courage to invest in machinery, and the rejection of dependency. A call to African leaders. From Nigeria to Senegal, from Kenya to South Africa, the message is clear. It is time to follow in President Traore's footsteps. Agricultural revolution is not a dream. It is a reality being lived in Burkina Faso today.
Exactly.
Leaders must invest in tractors and combine harvesters, build irrigation and rural roads, support farmers with training and access to finance, stop relying on food imports when their own land is fertile. Captain Ibrahim Traore has shown that in just 2 years, a country can change its food destiny. History will remember Captain Ibrahim Traore not only as a military leader, but as the architect of a green revolution in the Sahel. His investments in agricultural machinery, his faith in the people, and his unwavering commitment to sovereignty have lifted Burkina Faso to new heights. The tractors of 2024 are now symbols of national pride and productivity. The fields they plow are the foundation of a new economy. The farmers they empower are the real heroes of a free, dignified Burkina Faso. May other African leaders learn, follow, and implement. The future of Africa lies in its soil, Captain Traore has watered that soil with vision, courage, and action. It is time for the continent to bloom.
Inti abushia se o hwe me sabri a o ye Ghana ni a ne Burkina Faso president eyi bisa ho se den ene esi other leaders no kwan se on betumi edi sa adwumadie we ebi odimfidi ehba yenye we fixed sector on pese ekoye se da bia no ne yekra efringofo kuro so ena edeba nti ne yekra ba ne yaya ye ho factory nti na chese bibia aye cheap vaccination aye farmer cattle yaya ho factory fish pond yaya ho factory tractors a farmers be issue yankasa ya import dia begu omanim car ye de be ye kwan yenkofa China contractor na se yi yankasa ya import ye training yenkola no modi ye adwuma. Ibrahim Traore akere ye say sa nyema we nyina na ye ya eye possible, it is doable. Nti aya na me bisa me ho say den pa na esi ye mpanyimfo ekwan say omo betumi implement sa de we ebi eye pesemi nkuminya eye abro eye trimodern ana se omo setimamufo no ebra na omani age ana se musoko colonial masters no empese mobema yenso yade ye ho bianan abribia nye mebutu amana ase se ye hia niam na kanya fere anka obetin se Ghana edi ECOWAS emo eka Ghana edi ECOWAS ebru eka a omo dan yeka ewa bra wo the northern part a inuane nsase abu honum se chabam utumi esim friyendi saa de ko zabzugo na wuram se wo kuparugo se kuparuo saa nkuro we nyina no dura vast land egu honum. And aside that, ofatamele line, edeko walware bolgatanga wine munyina ensasi guanum say chabam oba the Ashanti party so ensasi ya hanu krade beka say di bebre de koko ni ade and sisi and ye nyansa mono ye de ye garamsi asan at the stroke koko no okwa the western region so say name it vast land egugu Africa bebia na so yempen foi enye ready so mbetumi implement and ebia sanka munim kwan na Ibrahim Traore abie kwan no e de ato honum a anka mu betumi follow. Yes though no one obi ani hon ma pay attention to sa eniema we enyina abusia me de ba no be si anom da bia ne America na say me ni umi no ye kan ye ho bom ni ye sore ni ye gina enkofu we mu they will do the right thing. Me message nan say yen sorry yen criticize ni enja say nsehunu bia na ye bo aban abaso akoye te say eja a wo no ma wo fie no wayi chop money say omomfa to aduane ndi o se yen mo abaso e wa bra ye wo responsibility wo ye extra things e wo your responsibility say also ma obako school into obako school na offer teacher e de man so science na de wo fie na o improve more eno na ohia abaso bode ehun yin so beto books ama wo ma ama omode asua ade wo school what me ato case tablet and I say laptop ama oba say je na fa improve wo education eno ene e kire se ampa so yembo wa baso na ye chese abusia mami fa won si ya unya subscribe to channel na mesro so be subscribe no share no like it invite afro no make abusia ko ni se na be the video photo ma on sabe ka bi na wahwe mackerel.